And you'll see that I have 285 paid members and more than $26,000 in monthly recurring revenue. This does not include upsells, and I'll tell you about the upsells. They are right now my upsell. I have two. One is I have an in-person event that is a very small, intimate mastermind, September 23rd, where you get a discount if you become a member of Arlan's Access. And I also have one-on-one consulting, very limited, though I have very limited space to do that. So I only have one or two per month of those, but you can purchase that inside the membership only. And then the yearly upfront revenue. What I mean by that is this does not even include people who have signed up as yearly members. It does include it somewhat, because what it does is it takes half of 1 month's worth and it puts it in as MRR. So the pricing today for Arlan's All Access, and always subject to go up, is the pricing is $100 per month and $600 per year. Again, these are discounts that can go up. So when someone pays $600 right now as a new member, or they upgrade, what this dashboard does is it puts another $50 on the board. So there have been thousands and thousands of dollars worth of people who have joined as a yearly member in the last few days since that became something. I think it was September 1st we started allowing that. So I want you to think about what you could do with an additional $8,333, which is $100,000 a year. And I'm already talking about 26,000. We're not even going there yet. But I want you to know, I know what I'm talking about. And also I want you to know what is possible. The first step, you're going to decide on your topic for your membership. And I go through this a lot on YouTube. If you haven't started looking at my YouTube channel, where I tell you how to find your UVP, your unique value proposition. I tell you how to decide on a topic and your audience, and etc. This can be based on your expertise, your passion, or a specific niche that you believe will attract members. We're going to go through this pretty quickly, so I want you to kind of just take it in, understand it, and we'll talk a little bit more. So you're going to decide on a topic. Step two is you're going to decide between a free or a paid membership. Each of those has its own pros and cons, mostly pros. And there's a strategy around, do I select free or do I select paid? If you select paid, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And in fact, I have an entire 10-page chart that I'm going to show you that tells you exactly how many members you need for what pricing, just in a moment. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Like mine, I'm charging for that, right? But you can still make money every single month by having a free membership. And that's when things get very interesting to me, especially if you do not have much of an audience. Now, if you have a large audience, a free membership might also be interesting to you as well. So for a free membership, the reason that it's going to help you make money is that you can invite your audience, your people that are like the right people for it. That's important. The people that are going to get value out of it. And then you provide an amazing amount of value within that free membership. You do that for several weeks, several months, maybe even. And then at some point, and I help you figure out this point inside of Arlan's All Access, but at some point, you decide now the audience, there are enough people here. They are getting value from me on a daily or weekly basis. And now I will introduce an upsell, or I will introduce a second membership that is paid that has much more available to it. And you treat your free membership like the lead magnet. Okay, so there's a lot of strategy that goes into that, but that's the concept that I want you to understand when you're thinking about selecting one or the other. I would do one or the other starting out. Step three, I would suggest you join school. And the reason I'm suggesting this is because I had my membership on another platform. I've also used several other platforms for courses, and they have been lying a little dormant. They have been sitting there collecting dust, and they weren't as easy to navigate. And so I was actually going to end my membership in July. From April to July, after my event, I had decided I'm going to sunset my membership, Arlen's All Access. I was determined to do that. I was getting ready to announce that. Instead, I stumbled across school because I'd heard about it, but I didn't quite get it yet. And I did some more research on it. And the more I saw, the more I liked. I joined a couple of memberships there and I looked around and I said, this is actually perfect for what my audience and my members need. So I brought over those first few members from the old group that wanted to come over, a few dozen of them. They seeded the ecosystem because they'd already paid for it on this other side. And then I started uh, uh, inviting paid members. And I charge $100 a month. It costs $99 per month to have a school. I have a Teachable that has just working today, and it has a lot of courses on it, and it's very, very cool. I've had it for like 4 years, but it costs me something like $700 a month. That's a lot of money. And what I do on Teachable, I can now do on school. So it's something to think about. I have a link to it. Obviously, I have an affiliate link to it that if you join Arlen's All Access, you can go into the classroom and click over. But in general, that's your step 3. I would recommend school, whether you use my link or not. It's just something that I think you would want to do. Later in this conversation, I have some screenshots of people who have migrated in our membership to school on their own, and they'll tell you what they think of it. Step 4, you're going to set your pricing. So if you have decided, and let me stop by saying this, you do not need to make all these decisions right now. You do not need to, and in fact, I would suggest that you don't make those decisions yet. I just want you to be introduced to the concept of it so you can think it through later today or through the weekend or over the next few days. So if you decide to make it paid, your first membership is paid or your main membership is paid, you're going to think about the pricing. Again, I have a chart a little bit later, a few more pages here, and we'll go through those numbers together. But you want it to be something that reflects the true value of what they're getting. And obviously, if you can over deliver, that's always, always, always better because you want to retain those members as well as attract them. Step 5, you're going to think about your upsells. Whether you have a free membership or a paid membership, you have the ability to do upsells, especially on school because of the way it's formatted. It's really easy to do upsells. So your upsells could be a course that's additional money, additional on the paid membership, or it could be a course that's additional money or cost something on the free membership. So imagine you have everybody on the free membership. They're talking in the community, they're posting, everybody's having a good time. You're doing live calls once a week. It's awesome. Inside the classroom, they have 1 or 2 courses they can take from you for free. And then you have this third course that's just an advanced course. And it gives you even more value, and they pay for that. Imagine if you're able to attract a few dozen, a few hundred, or even more members who are paying nothing to be there, but getting value. Some of those are going to convert to some upsells, right? And the reason we want this to do this, and the reason I care so much about this, is because so many of us have autonomy over our lives that we don't think about. We have control over our own destinies and our own lives that we do not think about every single day. And we're worried about paying the rent. We're worried about this and that. I've been worried, my whole life about money. And this is something I think almost anybody can do. Step 6, you're going to get your first 3 members. Now, inside of Arlen's All Access, I teach you how to get your first 10 members and beyond. But for anybody watching this who is not part of the group, getting your first 3 members is just the important thing it's going to tell you if you have an ecosystem, if you have something there, whether that's free or paid. And these early adopters are going to build that momentum and give you some very valuable feedback that you need to move forward. So that's what I did. I introduced my first or invited my first 3 members and then my first 20. And then now that's turned into more than 300, right? And then it's important to know this because if you're feeling overwhelmed at all, or if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, a whole community, like I don't know, I don't have any courses, I don't know exactly what I would put in there. The cool thing is you're actually going to build as you invite people in. So you'll have a little bit there, but over time, you're going to add to it. The reason you want to do this is one, you do not want to just put this off for forever because you know you're going to procrastinate if it's all about being perfect and having 100 things on that membership. The second thing is the number one, listen to me, the number one reason that people leave a great membership is overwhelm. They have too much to catch up on and they feel left behind and they drop off in shame or in annoyance. So that's also why you want to build as you invite because you want to give it little bite-sized. This is how you do this part. This is how you do this. This is this value I'm giving you. Another reason is you're going to be told and you're going to see gradually over time what your members need. There's a difference between what you think they need and what they actually need and actually want. And so if your idea and your goal is retention, meaning keeping them in the membership, hearing from them and talking to them and watching them interact with each other and ask each other questions is going to be like gold. It's a gold mine of information for you. I do it all the time. I'm in my membership every single day and I have my planned content. But then every week I look back at the week and I say, what did people understand? What did they have questions about? What can I add to and make clear? And I'm adding different things that I did not plan to a month ago. So that's another really good reason you want to. And that's great for you because it means you don't have to do everything at once and have everything perfect. Step 8, you're going to create some live experiences. And what I mean by that, don't get scared. What I mean by that is what I'm doing right now, going on Zoom. You're going to go on Zoom or go on StreamYard or whatever you use to stream, but it's going to be a private conversation. And inside of school and most memberships, you have the ability to link off, you have a calendar. And so you can link off from that calendar and say, hey, we're having a call next Wednesday or the third Wednesday of every month or every Monday or whatever you end up doing. And I'm going to be on that call. The host is going to be on that call and we're going to talk about this. So it could be a lesson that you teach live and then you record that and put that into a classroom. Or it could be an office hours. I just did that on Wednesday where we had office hours, hot seats. People could ask me questions based on all the other things that we'd learned. It could be where you interview an expert that you bring in or interview someone of interest that you bring in. And you just say, hey, you do this cool thing. My members would love to hear from you. Let me interview you. It could be where we do breakouts too. So I break out the group. They get to talk to each other, 3 or 4 people at a time. They get to really know each other. There's a lot of love when that happens. So there's a lot you could do, but what you're doing is you're adding value to the membership because you want to think about why would I stay in this membership? What am I getting here that I'm not getting outside of it? Step 9, you're going to then, after you have your first 3 members and your first you have your some of your content up, you're getting a feel of it, then you're going to really strategize your promotional efforts, right? You can start doing that early, but you don't necessarily have to have it all figured out. So you're going to start thinking about how would you promote, where would you go? Now, inside of Arlan's All Access, I have a list of 11 deep dive ways to do this, like in the launcher school membership section or community section. And it goes like, it's very deep. It's almost like a book. Like it's very deep into that. And we talk about those in those conversations. But essentially, that's the next step in your plan. And then step 10 is really getting into pricing. Again, this is if you decide to do a priced membership to start. Now, you might do this again if you started with the free membership and then you started with the price later on. So let's look at 10 pages quickly of these charts. This is where I want you to really start plotting and planning. Okay. I really want you to strategize. Think about, and this can be like this fantasy, like it doesn't have to be high stakes right now. Just imagine and play a little bit. So just imagine I have a membership for this, and it's something that I love to do and love to talk about, and I think I could do it for more than 1 year. Okay. So then think about who would be in that membership, what types of people. And let's talk about what it would take for you to make $100,000 in 2025 month by month. Okay. Now, actually, I started this with September of this month, so we can start there too. But think about by the end of 2025, you have this going. So this particular one is a $10 a month membership. My membership is $100 a month. So this is a $10 a month membership. How many people do you think you could get into a $10 a month membership? Very straightforward paid membership. Okay. This doesn't count upsells. This doesn't count yearlies right now. This is just like if it were month to month. This version we have two versions of each price point. And this version says, if you were to little by little each month get better and better at this, and you would bring on more and more people each month, this is what it would take to get to that $8,330 that you would need per month after 12 months. Okay. If you're following me, say I'm following you in the Q&A. I'm following you. I'm here. Okay. So $10 a month. And if you're thinking higher amount, we're getting there. All right. So the first month, you would need to bring in 10 members. You would have a total of 10 members. This also, by the way, because I know some of you are catching this does not account for people leaving. That's called churn, CHURN. That does not account for people leaving. So this is all assuming they're staying. But the way you can think about this, because some people will leave, is this is the number of people on the total side that I need total. So if I have 100 people in and 3 people leave or 8 people leave the next month, I just need to replenish them and add to it. So the first month, 10 members. The second month, can you bring 15 new members in at $10 each? Can you bring 20 people in that third month after learning so much and doing all these different things? And then can you have 834 members after 12 months at a $10 a month? Doing something that's very valuable to them, helping them, giving them value. I'm going to go to the next slide because there are 10 of these. So I want you to see this version of it is if you had the same number of new members every month. This is how I think about it. The other way, this way here, the first way is how I want my members to think about their memberships because they're learning. So I want them to think about it's getting more and more and more. This way is some people are going to think about it like this. Okay, every month I need this many new members so I can have this many total members by the end of 12 months. Right? And I'm hearing from everybody. I appreciate your messages. I'm glad it's resonating. Okay, so this chart, I know some people are taking screenshots. I can already hear it. But this chart is inside of Arlan's All Access for you to download, for it to be yours. And there's a lot more to it when we get in there. The next one is if it's $17 a month. I've seen this number a lot on school. A lot. So look at the numbers now. Look at that final number. When you look at these charts, look at the final number, the 491. Okay, 491 people. Whew, that's a lot, but it's only $17. What if I was doing something really, really valuable? I think I could do that. The first month, I only need to get 5 members. That's pretty cool. And if I can get 5 members and I can give them some value, they can probably get 8 the next month, right? So now let's look. This is what you would need for $17 a month if it were the same number of members each month. 41. Okay. And remember, we're going to 8,333 or so per month, because that equals $100,000. You could still be at your 9-to-5 job doing this. You could still be running your company doing this. But this is something that is going to help to feed into either you personally to keep your rent, your lights on, or it's going to pour into your company to help to kind of fill that gap, or both. It could be what you use for extra. It could be what you use to go on vacation. It could be what you use to pour into others. You start to feel like Let me hear from you in the Q&A if you're starting to feel what you could potentially do here, what you could potentially do. Now look at $25 per month. We're still so low. It's still such a low number. And now we're talking about 5 new members, 8 new members, 12 new members. We're deep into month 4 and we only need 17 new members because the math is mathing. And we only really need 334 members at the end of a good year for this to work. So that's interesting. 28 members a month if you did it blended across all months at $25. Let me hear from you. Are you thinking like this could actually work for me? This could actually be something. It's not as far-fetched as I might have thought before. Now, what if it were $50 a month? And I think this is out of order, but this one is if it was blended 14. Okay, I hear people saying the wheels are turning in my mind. Yes, I'm following. So good. Following. Great. Let me hear from you. Q&A. But just 14, okay? And 167 total. And I think this is, yeah, the opposite. It just was switched because I did all this on Canva. So I just kind of switched. Okay, now 5 new members, 7 new members, 10 new members. Imagine if you decided to do this. You're like, I'm going to jump into it. I'm going to get right to it in this month. You join Arlan's All Access or you don't, whichever, but you start your membership. Definitely suggest school, by the way, again. And all you had to do was get 5 new paid members if it's the paid tier. Now, imagine if it was the free membership strategy where you didn't have to worry about what they're paying. Your job for the next 3-4 months, the rest of the year was just to give them value so that in January you can introduce, hey, now I have one-on-one calls, or hey, now I have this new course you can buy, or this new event that I'm doing, or this new merch that I have. Things could get super interesting. It gives me goosebumps. It's so powerful. I wish I knew about this when I was homeless. I wish I knew that this existed and this was possible. And the technology really didn't exist the way it does today. It really didn't. Now, the $100 a month, this is where things get absolutely crazy. $100 a month, one member. So you and that member is getting so much value because they get you one-on-one for a month. But you probably seed it with a couple of free people that you know so it can be helpful. And then the next month, 2, and the next month, 3. And a total of 84 people after 12 months. And you have a $100,000 a year as long as you can retain them. And your whole thing is now about retention. If you want to stop there. If you don't want to stop there, you just keep going. This is like mind-blowing to me, right? Like it's mind-blowing to me. So you got to let me know in the Q&A how you're feeling about it. This is if you just want to do the same number of $100 members per month. The same number blended. 7. The maths. Yes, I'm seeing the head emojis, the blown mind emojis. The math is mathing. Okay. Now I want to show you some case studies so you can see what's really going on. This is inside the membership. This is inside Arlan's All Access happening now. When it says 6 days ago or 12 days ago or 1 day ago, it's because I did the snapshots today. So this is real time. Stephanie got my first member 5 days ago. I got my first member. I launched my membership community for avid and aspiring travelers on their fitness journey, and I got my first member. I'm so excited. I didn't tell them to write this. I didn't say, I just woke up to this. And you see the 85 messages because they're so excited for her. Right? And I can't remember exactly the price on this one, but I know the price on a couple of other ones. But that's amazing. I know it's under 150. It's under 150, maybe a lower ticket. And then Andrea says, I started my school, and Andrea's in England. So some people are asking, can I do this from here? Can I do it from here? Yes, 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 and yes. Yes. Oh, someone just said, it helps to look at it in a more digestible format. This is great. Someone else just said, this is awesome. Having launched a membership last year that didn't have this kind of success and then choosing to stop it, I really wish I'd seen charts like this to help me be clear on the potential and stay with it. That makes my heart sing. And so Andrea just she started her school after getting into Arlan's All Access. She got her first, bit of monthly recurring revenue. And, I had been talking about it, talking about it, talking about it. She's like, let me go ahead and do this. Let me just go ahead and try it. Because what's the harm? Let me just go ahead and try it. Especially if I start a free membership, what's the real harm there? But if I start a paid membership, my suggestion to you is to keep it monthly. So you can do it for 1, 2, 3 months and just really see if it's working for you. If you're just like, I give up after month 3, no harm, no foul, right? Then Chef B migrated her current membership over to school again, because school is the reason that everything has worked for me the way it has and has been so great to the members is because of the way school operates. So you can even go to school.com and just check out different schools that they have, different memberships that they have. That what are people creating over there? But I'm going to give you my address in a second. But look, I've been loving school and all of its functionality. Another person, Giselle, said, I moved my membership to school. Here's some tips for easy transfer. So inside of Arlen's All Access, not only are people learning every single day and every moment of the day, but they're helping each other. I didn't tell her to do this. She just did this. And it's a long list when you do show me more. There's a long list of these are the things that'll help you so you can just skip all of the guesswork. And then Catherine is also in my inner circle. And so we had been talking about her membership for a few weeks. On August 1st, she launched her membership. Okay. She now has 20 members. This is August 1st. Now we're in September 6th. She has 20 members paying $125 each. I'm pretty sure that's the number. They may be paying 100. They may be paying 100. It's one of the two, though. I think they're paying 125, but I can't remember. But it's one of the two. She already has 20 members. And what she does is she's a writer, she's an author. So she has co-working writing hours with her membership. They get on Zoom or some other format, and for a couple of hours on certain days, they write together. You can create a membership for your people. Now, I'll tell you a little bit more about Arlen's All Access because I have been talking about it. Just telling you about how people are feeling in there and all the value you're getting. So in addition to us talking about memberships, which on its own, that would just be worth it, right? For $100 a month. We also talk about other things. We talk about events because I put on a 2,000 person event. I teach you step by step how to put on an event that has 6 people, 12, 20, 100, 2,000. And it's a fully produced, filmed, took me, hours and days to film and write and thousands of dollars to create. It's costs, if you go to my Teachable right now, it costs $1,500. Y'all hear me? Write the word $1,500 in the Q&A if you hear me. It costs $1,500, but as a member, you get it for free. So right now, people who don't know about the membership are paying $1,500, but you're getting it for free for $100 a month over here. The math is mathing. Okay. Read a little bit of this. Hope says, this is definitely what I need. This is definitely needed for me to get moving. I'm a notary, and to non-notaries, people think we just stamp, but there's so much more. I know it and other notaries know it. So that means I got to get to it. My peeps are waiting, talking about starting a membership. We also talk about YouTube and all of the YouTube success I've had in the last few weeks. I teach that, and I have an expert in there who she teaches it too. It's so, so valuable. Giselle says, double and triple down on what is working. This is a response to what notes did you get from the last thing we looked at? You know what's fascinating? I was told to do that by my business coach. Somehow you saying it, Arlan, though, did it for me. Right? Because of all the accountability, all of the, incredible love that's going on inside of Arlen's All Access. Like, what I mean by that's business love. Like, we got you no matter what your age. We have people in who are in their 20s. We have people in who are in their 70s. We have everything in between. We have about probably 85% women and women identifying, and the other is other and men, right? So there's a lot of like people finding their people in there. So Jessica's excited because she not only has an idea for her school membership, but she also did her first video because I'm teaching everybody about utilizing YouTube to monetize YouTube itself and to promote their membership or their company or their brand. I have a water brand that I promote on YouTube. Like there's so much value in it. And then Net's talking about the fact that every chance I get, I try to explain to people, we don't have to do all this all at once. We're gonna take this at our own pace and we're gonna be all good, right? Because it's not we're only racing against ourselves. And then Evelyn said, I just joined less than 24 hours ago. Glad to be here. This message is just what I need at the beginning so I don't get overwhelmed. I love the insight. Sometimes one powerful thing can be just what you need from any lesson to keep things moving forward. And then Amber said, I found my people. This was 6 days ago. I've been in this group less than 24 hours. Does it sound familiar? We just heard that, right? People are saying the first day. And I feel like I finally found my community I've been looking for. The way you all have poured into me in my dreams, I'm feeling energized like no other. Being around the right people can make a world of difference. Thank you. So if you think about it too, you're not only getting the information, the step-by-step guides, accountability, the references, the resources, you're also getting the network. I talk about networks in in It's About Damn Time, my first book. I talk about it in Your First Million as well, but I introduce it in It's About Damn Time and how valuable your network is. Each person in Arlan's All Access now has an instant network. You can use your membership for your company too. Doesn't have to necessarily be separated. And in fact, it might be better that it's aligned. This is for everybody. So thank you for being here. Thanks for spending the last hour with me. If you start your own membership, definitely let me know. Send me an email or a DM on Instagram. I'll see you in these YouTube streets, and I'll definitely see you in Arlan's All Access. Thanks, everybody.